Real ones, I know they just dropped the winner of the Conerly Trophy tonight, Mr. Judkins from Ole Miss. But me and my brother Tim G. Jacob, we had previously recorded a dope segment making our predictions about it. So I wanted y'all to see that. Check this out right now. See, the regular season has concluded. So that means the Conerly Trophy voters are hard at work.
Nah, they ain't really that hard at work. But okay. I got you. I see what you're saying, but yeah, they ain't that hard at work. It ain't that hard.
You would hope that they watching the game, they going back. Maybe they got them an ESPN Plus account. Maybe they got some all 22 and all kind of shit that they can get some exclusive tapes from these coaches and watch what was really going on. Okay, we would hope that they're doing that, but whatever the case is, they go and put in their vote and decide who they believe has been the best college football player in the state of Mississippi this year. Word. So let's talk about it. Before we talk about it, y'all listen to this real quick about y'all becoming one of the realest ones. What it is, focus your homeboy first, and I'm giving y'all the opportunity to become one of the realest ones. That's right. I'm giving y'all the opportunity to become an official member of my channel. You'll get badges that make you stand out amongst all the other real ones. You'll get an opportunity to use custom emojis. You'll get exclusive updates and know stuff that other real ones just don't. Like stuff about upcoming shows, new music that might be coming out, all that kind of stuff. You'll have an opportunity to participate in members-only polls. Maybe you give your views on who I should interview next or show topics that I could do. You feel me? I don't usually read or reply to comments, but I will read and reply to yours if you're a member. You feel me? You'll get a free statement tee. That's statement tees. Every t-shirt you wear makes a statement. And you'll have the opportunity to periodically be a guest on Put It On Some. So make sure y'all join and become one of the realest ones. All right, so y'all make sure y'all do that. Make sure y'all do that. And everybody else, make sure you subscribe. Put all your people on. All right. But T, earlier this year, we talked about who we thought would be in contention for the Conerly Trophy. I want to say I took Shedeur Sanders. I think you rolled with Will Rogers of Mississippi State. Okay.
Yeah.
End of season. Has your mind changed?
Yeah, it's changed. Right thing to do is make Shedeur Sanders the Conerly Trophy winner, and it's simply because he's been the most successful player in the state, and they based this off of success. Somewhat dominance, but most of it has to do with just the success of your team as a whole or whatever. And he's been the winner. He's won. He's winning. So he's been the catalyst of an undefeated Jackson State team that's on their way to the SWAC championship game against Southern. Potentially on their way to the Celebration Bowl, but I say potentially because I'm just being trying to be respectful to Southern. But yeah, at the end of the day, Shedeur Sanders deserves that. And if you want to go to compare numbers and comparing competition, that's fine. I get it. But the truth of the matter is that Will Rogers did underachieve a little bit this year. To me, he didn't do enough in certain spots, certain places. A lot of that probably ain't his fault. It probably got to do with the guy that's at the helm over there at Mississippi State. But I digress. And if you want to get a little, you want to get a little deeper in the weeds, just go watch the Egg Bowl on demand on ESPN Plus if you like, and you find out. But the right choice is Shedeur Sanders. And I'm sure the state voters, whoever it is that votes for this award, they're gonna want to get on the wave too. They want to get on the wave a little bit too. Shedeur was in the running. Was it last year or in 20? I can't remember. But he was in the running. He was yeah. I mean, so they want to get him in the wave. They want to get in the wave, and they want this to be a draw, and publication and eyes and stuff is a must. But he's the right guy. He's the only guy, in my opinion. I don't think there's anybody else. I mean, Will had a decent year. It wasn't the year that I expected. I thought he'd have a very, very good year. But truth of the matter is that, you know, Quashawn Judkins, if Lane would have done what he's supposed to do, go to Death Valley, beat LSU, beat Alabama, I would have said Quashawn Judkins. I really would have. Mm-hmm. And that's no slight to Shedeur. That's just, you went to Death Valley and beat LSU, and you beat Alabama at your house, and you put up the numbers you put up this year. Hard for me to disagree. But Shedeur is the right guy. And I hope the voters do this thing the right way. They look at this thing for what it is. He was the best player in the state this year. And there's just no other way to even look at it. Well,
I mean, America, I hope my brother Tim G. Jacob is right. I hope my brother Tim G. Jacob is right. But I don't see it. I don't see Mississippi doing that. They've never had an HBCU player win this award yet. Now, for context, okay, they were not giving out the award until 1996. Okay, not giving it out until 1996. So, you know, so that misses Steve L. McNair. Okay, I'm sure Steve would have won it.
He the one up 4 years.
I'm sure Steve would. If Steve wouldn't have won it, we should have hit the streets.
You know what? Okay. You know what? They probably didn't want to start the trophy award until he left. I'm gonna say that. I'll say that tonight. They was thinking about it for 4 years. Say, you know what though? We can't wait till he leave. We gotta wait till he leave. Who was the first recipient? Who was the first recipient?
The first recipient of the Conerly Trophy was a brother from Delta State by the name of Tregnell Thomas, a running back. Okay. He won that year over a linebacker from Southern Miss named Marchant Kenny, a tight end from Ole Miss named Chris Mangum. Okay.
Chris Mangum. He went to, I think he was a Panther.
I remember that name, Mangum. All right, well, that was the first recipient.
You got to start somewhere.
So I'm sure Steve would have won it. But Casey didn't win it.
No, Casey Terrio didn't win.
And Casey had the complexion for the connection for the protection, and he was balling at Jack State.
He was balling.
And the year he was in contention for it, because he was in contention for it 1 year now. And this was before even, seems like now every school gets a nominee. Okay. But Casey was in there one of those years before they were doing that. And you can argue, if you're like a Skip Bayless type of guy who says default, the quarterback should get that award, like get that type of award, then you're going to be mad at this. Because that year of 2010, they gave to linebacker Chris White from Mississippi State. Okay. Now, I might go back. Chris White might have had 125 tackles. I don't know. Okay. But he won that award over Austin Davis, quarterback in Southern Miss.
Who went to the pros.
He was a bad motherfucker for Southern Miss. Okay. And Casey Terrio, who was a bad motherfucker for Jack State. All right. But Casey was in the running again that next year. And that next year, Austin Davis won it over Southern Miss. But they've never given it to a guy. You know what I'm saying? So I would think Shedeur would have had to been blasting motherfuckers. And his numbers good. 32 tubs, 6 picks. But when I say blasting, I mean compared to the comp. Because the voters going to look at it, T, and they going to say, okay, Shedeur, you got 32 touchdowns. But they going to say Will Rogers got 34 touchdowns in the SEC.
But he ain't even a nominee. Will ain't even a nominee. It's got to go to Shedeur.
Okay.
Emmanuel Forbes is the nominee for Mississippi State.
Ooh.
So that's what I'm saying. It's
I wonder if
there.
the
It's
coaches send that in or something. What was that all about? Okay, all right.
Daniel Forbes is in the running.
Okay, all right. Interesting. That's interesting because he got 34 touchdowns. Will Wright got 34 touchdowns to Shador's 32, and he got 6 picks. Shador got 6 picks. He got 3,713 yards, and Shador got 3,063. Now Shador got what all these motherfuckers wish they had is an and O. He got 11 and 0 right now. Okay.
There ain't no other way.
But I don't think they're gonna give a fuck about that. Maybe this me growing up here in Mississippi. I don't think they're gonna.
Then who gonna get it?
I think.
Look at your nominees. Who you gonna get it? You got Mr. Howard from Alcorn, Javion Howard. You got Connor Fordham from Bellhaven.
Now, Mr. Howard did lead the SWAC in rushing.
He did. Okay. You got Marcus Williams from Mississippi College. You got Emmanuel Forbes from Mississippi State. You got Ronnie Thomas, D lineman from Valley. You got Quishon Judkins.
Mr. Judkins.
And you got Jason Brownlee from Southern.
Mr. Judkins. That's what I was going to go with. Now, the only thing against Mr. Judkins is he's a freshman. And I don't know if they want to give it to a freshman. But that man had 1,476 yards, 16 rushing touchdowns in the SEC. When one game I was watching, them motherfuckers say he is the back in the SEC right now. That's crazy. And he's a freshman. That's just what the commentator said. That ain't me talking. That's what the commentator said.
Slow down, Mr.
I'm gonna say this. This is Shador's moment to get it then. If you're telling me Will ain't even a nominee, so bang, take that out. We 11 and 0, 32 touchdowns, 6 picks, you're over 3,000 yards. You're going against a freshman running back. If Judkins was a junior, it'd be his. They just gonna give it to him. If he was a junior, they just gonna give it to him. But this may play in Shador's favor that he's a freshman.
Okay, so I'm gonna say this here because this is put it on some. Burn it down. If this man don't win this trophy, just go ahead on, burn the Conerly trophy down, and let's just move on with.
I like to see the writers' names. I need to know who are the voters.
Look.
Who are the voters? Because if it's a bunch of guys on what that damn talk radio thing they got here, Super Talk. There's a bunch of motherfuckers like that. He ain't getting it.
Well,
and when I think about a Mississippi voter on some shit like this, I think about them kind of guys.
And you should fairly. In all fairness, you should. But now my thing is this though. Quishon has played well. I know he has. But they ain't been loving him like that out here. In those voters, in their eyes, they don't write about him. The writing has been about Shador. The conversation has been about Shador. It's been about Jackson State. And look, and this is the problem I have with this particular year and this voting is because Shador could win it, but it would seem cheap. Because it would seem like it's just a way to get the views, the looks, the eyes on the trophy, the state's best. You know what I'm saying? It builds some luster to giving this award. You know what I'm saying? Whereas every year there ought to be a buzz within this state about who's that guy.
Well, a lot of people don't even know this award exists.
Exactly. And that's my thing though. So now you use Shador to build the luster and say, hey, Shador Sanders is a Conerly Trophy winner. Son of, you see what I'm saying?
Son
of Deion Sanders. So now, you give that some luster, some juice. And then years going forward, you're looking like, oh, well, next year, man, who gonna win it? Shador gonna win it again? Or is it Quishon? Or, you know what I'm saying? Because you got to build some luster to this thing, because we don't know our Conerly Trophy winners. Most people in this state don't know who the Conerly Trophy winner is from year to year. Most people. So, like we were just talking offset, and Damian Fletcher won it one year. 07. Balling. balling. And we had to like run that play back. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, Steve would have undoubtedly won it.
Steve would have won it every year.
But Steve was fucking incredible with his arm and legs.
Listen.
You know what I'm saying? You could argue, a voter could argue, and shit, I would argue. Fuck that. Our defense, I'm talking about Jack State now. Our defense has been our best unit. Our defense has been our best unit. You know,
I have no disagreement with that.
And so somebody say that takes away from Shadur's Conerly award resume that the defense was a driving force of the team. Now he is the offense. We slick got a damn New England Patriots setup where Brady had all them damn great defenses and he was the offense. And I'm not taking nothing away from my boy, Mr. Wilkerson. Give Mr. Wilkerson the damn ball. Y'all already know. But what y'all saw when Shador had that little scale, that offense looked night and goddamn day. My God. It just looked different. But I'm actually putting my eyes on it. I don't know how much these voters really watch Jackson State University.
No, I know. They don't. That's the thing I'm telling you. They don't watch this. They don't watch nothing to do with HBCU ball. Mm-hmm. Nothing. They ain't watching. They ain't watching Shador. They ain't doing it. They just get together with a glass of bourbon and they say, who we voting for this year?
Well, usually, I used to say, it's whoever got the better record between Ole Miss and State, they're going to give it to whoever that best player is. That's what I was thinking about it for a while now.
And that at this point, I mean, if we saying that logic, then it's Emmanuel Forbes, but I just don't see Forbes winning it. There's never been a defensive back to win it that I've seen through the list. So you gotta at least say, at this point, you gotta say, okay, who's the guy that has had the most success? That's the way you have to go with it.
The last 10 winners been Ole Miss or State.
It can't be Quishon.
The smallest school to get it ever is the Millsaps kid.
Yeah, Warren Joseph.
Because Delta State bigger than Millsaps, got to be.
I don't know now.
Delta State D2 ball.
Yeah, I don't know.
And Millsaps got to be shit lower than that.
Yeah, Millsaps got to be lower than D2.
Yeah, so, but Jack State is D1. So you see what I'm saying? A motherfucker from Delta State, 2 motherfuckers from Delta State have won it, and nobody from HBCU. A motherfucker from Millsaps has won it, and not anybody from an HBCU. See, that's what I'm talking about. This shit is stacked against them, but if anybody can do it,
it's gonna happen.
It's gonna have to be Shador Sanders.
It's gonna happen.
You're the quarterback. You're 11-0. You're on track to win a Black National Championship. Your dad is fucking Deion Sanders, a media darling.
It's gonna happen.
And Mississippi State quarterback is not nominated. Ole Miss quarterback not nominated. Ole Miss's running back is a freshman. And I know they only. It's tailor-made. It's right here.
It's gonna happen
for the voters not to fuck this up. But I'm from Mississippi. I've been here my whole life.
And look, nothing against Mr. Brownlee, but I'm amazed that Frank Gore Jr. wasn't nominated. That blows my mind. And I have nothing against Jason Brownlee. I thought Jason Brownlee
I love Mr. Brownlee.
I know, but I really would have thought.
That's true. And you know what? That's a hell of a point, given the fact that.
So that tells you right there, do they really watch the game?
To your point, if we have our quarterback out there, Frank Gore is RB1. When we go to the Superback set, he's I know we bring in multiple guys, but he's the motherfucking Superback.
He's the guy.
And he didn't get the nomination.
I
don't know. Now, okay. I wonder if these nominations are being done by the writers, or are these nominations being sent in by the school? Kind of like when I was a coach. We sat down for a district-wide meeting of coaches at a McDonald's.
To do all district team?
To do the damn all district team. And all it was us coaches writing down the names of the players from our teams that we were nominating. And then whoever won the championship, your ass got the most nominees. So since I won the district championship, I had 3 kids. Now the kids didn't know this shit, so they just think, oh, everybody think I'm great. No, motherfucker, I'm the one that picked you.
Right.
You know, so but they didn't know that. So I wanted did the coaches send in these names? And if that's the case, what does that say about what Will Hall is trying to do? He's trying to big up Mr. Brownlee. Is Leach and them trying to send a message to Will Rogers? Because that one shocked me.
I mean,
now I know you believe in Mr. Ford. I know you talked to me about he's
nice. He's nice. But now I will say this though. Leach at one time was talking about Will got to work for the job. And I'm like, what? He got to work for what job? He's the best quarterback on the team. What do you mean there's a competition? Ain't no competition.
You know
he cold.
That dude got problems, man.
I know. But you know.
Something wrong with that, man. Well, this is interesting, America. We're going to see, okay? As you can see, my brother Tim G. Jacob is a little more optimistic about Shedeur Sanders' nomination than I am. And I'm the one who picked him earlier in the year, okay?
You got to do it.
But I just got a feeling that Mississippi is going Mississippi, okay? So I'm rolling with, my prediction is they give it to Mr. Judkins, okay, for putting up those kind of numbers in the SEC at running back. And the last 10 winners coming from Ole Miss or Mississippi State. Now, losing the Egg Bowl did not bode well for him. I do give you that. So, again, it's tailor-made for Shedeur.
He's supposed to win.
And so, my brother may be right again. He picked Mississippi State to win the Egg Bowl. He might be right about Shedeur Sanders. Y'all tell us who y'all got, okay? Not just who you want. Who do you think is actually going to win it?
Deserving it.
All right?
Yeah, that's all it's about.
Put it on some.
Thank you so much for watching my daddy's YouTube channel. Make sure you like, share, and turn on your post notifications. Okay, how do I do it?